Good morning, guys. Happy Monday, and to many people, you are off today. It's Labor Day. Guys, gonna keep the content rolling here for you. I know a lot of people have drafted. Got a fun one here. We are talking about 6 players. Count them, 6 players you need to trade for right now. Means get them on your roster. These guys are a little bit, I wouldn't say completely under the radar, but they're value plays where you could really convince your idiot league mates and say, hey man, like I got this player. Do you want to trade for this guy? And the guys that I'm going to mention here have more upside than the guys that you're going to trade for, okay? So 6 players here you want to trade for now that are super deals still because their ADP's like really like low. You know what I mean? So guys, fantasy football is back. I'm excited. I know, again, a lot of people have drafted, but if you haven't drafted, make sure you guys grab the 16-round draft session. Don't draft without it. And everybody now is moving towards the season-long, the Patreon group. So for in-season waiver wire, starts and sits, everything you guys need, join the Patreon group right now. Patreon.com/FFCounselor. Going to be giving you guys waiver wires, exclusive videos. I'm actually doing right now, I've got open, I'm actually rating your teams, giving you guys draft grades. Now, it's not drafted on 1 to 10, but I am breaking down, critiquing, and looking at areas your team may still need work on. So join the Patreon group right now, patreon.com/FFCounselor. Join right now for in-season community. It's absolutely amazing, okay? So let's go to these 6 players here that you got to trade for that are absolute deals. Again, smash it, tap it, slap it. We go year-round. Just because draft is over doesn't mean that we don't go year-round. We got waiver wires, we got starts and sits, we got DFS. We got a ton of stuff. Obviously, news, injuries, everything's going to be covered here. So turn on the bell if you're new to the channel and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, okay? First player, let's dive into it here, is Romeo Doss. Now, here's the crazy thing. Something that I found, even with doing like later drafts, like Romeo Doss was still coming off after Christian Watson and Jaden Reed, which is ludicrous. Like, the consensus are ludicrous because word out of camp is Dobbs is the one. Word on the depth chart is Dobbs is the one. Looking at the playoff games last year, I've been saying this since May, Dobbs is the one. Yet he is wide receiver 53, 125 overall, Jaden Reed 38, and Watson 45. How's that possible when Dobbs is the number 1 target for Jordan Love? Listen, Jordan Love's going to have a great year. He only gets better, and he's going to go to his number 1 receiver. I was critiquing in the Patreon group, like I was mentioning. I was looking at people's rosters, and some people are like, dude, Romeo Dobbs went undrafted. I'm like, dude, pick him up. Get Romeo Dobbs on your roster, okay? And I keep going to this as an example. Everybody's so high up on Nico Collins round 2, who's allegedly the one on the Texans, which I don't see that viable. I think Diggs could be the one. But anyway, you got a diluted wide receiver situation, and he's coming off round 2, and you're telling me Dobbs is going undrafted, who is the one to Jordan Love, who threw 89 times more than CJ Stroud did last year? Are you kidding me right now? So I can get Dobbs for free, and you guys are spending, or the Chiefs are telling you to spend a second-round pick on Nico Collins, who isn't even the one. They haven't even said he's the one, whereas they said the Dobbs is the one. So what I'm saying is just find a way to get Romeo Dobbs on your team. He's going to have a good year. The guy is great talent. I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you get Jordan Love's potential wide receiver 1 on your team? Absolute no-brainer, okay? Second player here you want to try to trade for, try to get on your team is Blake Corm. This is a guy that I've been talking about in the offseason. I've been talking about him. It is still the offseason. I'm still talking about him. But once he takes off and potentially takes a job from Kyron Williams, be like, oh man, why don't I have more Blake Corm stock? Blake Corm, RB42 on the consensus rankings. This guy was a 3rd-round pick. The Rams did not hesitate at all to draft this guy, okay? They were all over him. They saw the talent. They saw the value in regards to these running backs in general. Marshon Lloyd, Trey Benson, we're going to talk about in a second. These guys were values in drafts. And so the teams were like, why not, right? Kyron Williams, they've already said he's going to be returning punts full-time. He's a little undersized. Listen, I had him on the show. I talk about him. I love Kyron Williams, super nice guy. He's confident. I appreciate that. But he was like an undrafted, what is he, a 5th-round guy? Round draft pick, and pretty much off the radar, came out of nowhere, did well when he was called upon, but obviously with that injury last year, the Rams don't believe in him. They don't. They brought in Blake Corm, who's an absolute beast in college. Just make sure you got this guy on your roster. I mean, it doesn't hurt you The guy is RB42, 131 overall when you're looking at the rankings. But whoever's got him in your league has probably got him on the bench. Swing a trade for him. Work something out. Try to get Blake Corm on your roster. I see a ton of upside. I've got him in a couple leagues. I wish I had more stock in him. I got him in my Dynasty League, which is a $250 buy-in league. I think I got him in another buy-in league as well. I wish I had more Blake Corm stock. I think he's going to have a great year. Make sure you guys trade for him and get him onto your roster, okay? Number 3, this is Marshon Lloyd, 158th overall, round 3 pick. I just saw him back in his gear. I saw a video with him training again. He was sidelined a little bit. I think it was a hamstring thing or whatever it was. Marshon Lloyd, he's just a bench stash at this point, but I do see some explosive upside here. I definitely see the speed, and I'm not really sold on Josh Jacobs. Now, Josh Jacobs I recommended him in 16 rounds as a boom or bust candidate. I know a lot of you guys drafted him, and I like the offense. Like we just talked about Romeo Doss and Jordan Love having the great years, and Jacobs in a great situation. Now, there was a recent report from Josh Jacobs saying that he wanted to be acquired by the Chiefs, and he took a pay cut of like $3 to $4 million less a year to be on the Packers because he wants to be on a team that's more up and coming than a team that's already developed, and he wants to dominate a team that's dominating. Pretty much was the kind of the quote there. So listen, Josh Jacobs is a good situation, but Marshon Lloyd could look really good, and I'm saying that this could be a possible Gibbs Montgomery situation. But why not have Marshon Lloyd on your bench? Again, you don't want to overpay for a guy like him. I think Blake Corm's ceiling is a little bit higher than the way that it sits right now. But Marshon Lloyd, another guy you want to trade for, okay? Now, that's 3. We talked about Romeo Doss, Blake Corm, Marshon Lloyd. There's 3 more big ones here. The last one is a must acquire, okay? Before I get into that, guys, I want to tell you guys I've teamed up with MyBookie.ag. Listen to this. You get 100% match deposit. So whatever you put down, they're going to match it up to $1,000. This is huge, guys. Football's back. Get on the action. Get in on the spreads. MyBookie.ag. You need to head over there right now. Okay, guys? Create an account using code FFC. They've also got a pool going on, a contest, a survivor contest pool for NFL. Guys, this is ultra exciting. Again, this 100% match deposit is absolutely insane. Up to $1,000. Head on over to MyBookie.ag. Use the code FFC right now. Create an account. Get in on the action, guys. It's going to be super fun. What are you waiting for? Pause the video. Get in on the action right now. Okay, I've partnered up with them. Great company. I've been, using them for years. Love using that site. Amazing. MyBookie.ag. The code you want to use, FFC. Go take advantage of this promotion right now. The 100% match deposit. Insane. Okay? All right. Next guy here. What are we on now? Actually, number 4. We're on number 4 is Trey Benson. Now, I've been talking about him a lot, and I think that the Cardinals saw exactly what they wanted out of him out of the last week of preseason. Actually, it was week 2 of preseason. He had that nice solid run of 20 yards that got negated due to a holding call, which really wouldn't have affected the run anyway. But, the guy is ultra talented. Again, when you're looking at Blake Corm, Trey Benson, these were the top 2 running backs coming out of this draft. Immense value, guys, in drafts. Sitting as running back 45. Everybody still thinks James Conner's the one. They're skating to where the puck is. If you look at James Conner's stats, they suck. He had one good year last year. He had 208 attempts, and he was alone. That's not very good, right? 1,000-yard rushing season his entire career. Played backup on the Steelers for years. Guys, I hate to break it to you, but James Conner is not that good. If you drafted him, get rid of him now. Get Trey Benson on your team. Now, to start the year, it's probably going to be Conner on the first drive till he gets hurt, until they actually see, and every time that Trey Benson touches the ball, he is actually the superior running back, and he's going to get more volume. And then as soon as Conner is going to go down, and he will, Benson's going to take that job. He's got top 10 potential. I love Trey Benson, okay? Again, he doesn't look that appealing right now going into the season. I get it. But when you look at it from a skill point, a talent point, and a value point, I've got Trey Benson on almost all my rosters. I'm rocking with him this year, okay? Now, the last 2, these guys are absolute must-haves on your team. 0 questions asked. You have to have these guys on your team. Let me know what you guys are thinking so far, and let me know what you guys think of the next 2. Do you have them on your roster? If you got 16 rounds, you got to have these guys on your roster. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have. And of course, hit the thumbs up, smash it, tap it. It really helps the channel, guys, getting the message out to the masses, okay? Again, I'm an independent. I don't deal with, I keep to myself. I keep it real. Everyone else is playing cookie cutter, BSing you. they don't have your best interest in heart. I actually want you to win. That's what I built my brand on, okay? I'm just one of you guys. I just did a lot more studying in fantasy and made a career out of it, okay? Same as you guys. I want you guys to win. Super passionate, okay? Number 5 here. I've talked about it. I've created rhymes about it. Don't be a donkey. Draft Ladd McConkey. Sitting as wide receiver 44 on the rankings. Even now, as we get closer to the football season, I can't believe we got football this Thursday. But Ladd McConkey, wide receiver 44. I'm telling you, I've been saying this as soon as he got drafted. Quentin Johnson didn't do it last year. We got Josh Palmer. He's not a true wide receiver 1. He sucks. He's a wide receiver 3 at best. They've drafted Brendan Rice. I heard he hadn't done amazing in camp. He was drafted, I think, in the 7th round. They don't got anybody. Ladd McConkey has a huge void with Keenan Allen gone and Austin Eckler gone at the checkdowns. Rapport was really good at a training camp. I know Herbert was banged up. He's now back throwing. He had the plantar fasciitis thing under his foot. He's good to go. He's going to be fine. This is going to be a connection for the ages. He's going to get a lot of volume. He's a good route runner. Again, Justin Herbert, one of, if not the best quarterbacks in the NFL, had a down year last year, looking to bounce back, where he was just force-feeding Keenan Allen. He has that mentality. There's certain guys he keys on, and he force-feeds them. McConkey is going to eat this year. I'm telling you, draft Ladd McConkey. Don't be a donkey. He's going to eat. And how often is it? I mean, it is often every single year, but so many people are caught up in these wide receiver ones early. But like, you are getting a top 10 potential upside wide receiver. I speak with conviction here, and you're getting him around 7 to 9. That is wild. That is amazing. This is why I went robust RB or RB heavy early, because I saw the value at wide receivers later. So again, Ladd McConkey, great value, okay? And the last guy, he's a must draft. I've got stock in all my leagues, is Zamir White. RB 27 is ludicrous for a guy who's got no competition. Is going to be the workhorse on his team. 384 rushing yards last 4 games of the season. 84 rushing attempts last 4 games out of the season. 2 100-yard rushing games last season. And here's the crazy thing. When I'm saying trade for this guy, Aaron Jones, Tony Pollard, James Conner, James Cook, Mostert, Achane, all these guys came off ahead of this guy. So if you're an owner of James Conner or James Cook, Mostert, Achane, or Aaron Jones or Tony Pollard, you could swing a trade for Zamir White. These guys came off ahead of him. That's what I'm trying to tell you, okay? So if anyone's got these guys on your roster, if they got Zamir and let's just say Aaron Jones, they're kind of like brainwashed. They think Aaron Jones is better because they must have drafted Aaron Jones or James Conner or James Cook ahead of him. I'd rather have Zamir White ahead of James Cook. James Cook only 2 touchdowns last year. They brought in Ray Davis. They re-signed Frank Gore Jr., right? So when you're looking at, and Pollard, who says he's the one, right? Zamir White is far more talented than Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is a failed player all around. Failed backup, failed starter. Zamir White's going to outperform all the guys I just mentioned. Mostert, why is Mostert and Achane coming ahead of Zamir White? Zamir White beats both these guys in fantasy points this year. These guys are in a committee. They're going to be diluted. And they've drafted Jaden Wright or whatever. Dude, I'm telling you right now, Zamir White, trade for him. Get him on your roster. Okay, just get this guy on your roster as your RB3. So don't give up too much to get him, okay? I've got him as an RB3 on all my rosters. He is primed to succeed. Draft him, okay? So Romeo Doss, Blake Corm, Marshon Lloyd, Trey Benson, Ladd McConkey, and Zamir White. You need to get these guys on your team. The situation is prime. These guys are going to crush it. It's going to be amazing, guys. Secure them on your roster, okay? If you're new to this channel, smash it, tap it, slap it. Football is back. Going to be coming out with you guys content here daily. And of course, guys, join the Patreon group, patreon.com/FF Counselor for in-season exclusive videos, waiver wire starts and sits, and so much more. Okay, guys? Join Patreon right now, and I'll see you guys in the next video and trade for these guys. Have a good day. I'm out.